Welcome to my video. These are going to be my thoughts on Cloak and Dagger Season 1, Episode 6. This episode is called Funhouse Mirrors. Another episode I love. Spoilers for everything MCU leading up to, including this episode. The episode, let's see, I think it was 14 or 16 years rating. And so will this video be? So, yeah, let's dive right in. I really appreciate, I suppose I should start by saying, I don't know quite enough to say if it's authentic, but so many things on this show are incredibly authentic, so I'm hoping this is another case, but I really appreciate that the ritual involved in the, I don't think it's the first time on the show, and it's probably not even the first time I've called it out. It's been a while since I watched an episode and did a video on this show, but yeah, the psychic reading, you know, the way it's filmed and edited, the montage of preparing and carrying out the ritual is not treated as this like creepy, weird thing like a lot of American media does when it's anything religious that isn't Christian, anything, I suppose, is it religion? Anything spiritual, let's go with that isn't Christianity. And yeah, I mean, the way it's filmed and edited, you know, it could be like a student preparing to go to school, you know, it's very matter of fact. It's not done in this kind of eerie way. We get some more great nightmare stuff with the, I'm afraid I forgot his name, ADHD, not lack of respect, and the guy with the bag, you know, looked like some kind of childhood trauma, which, you know, a lot of criminals do have. And yeah, right, I liked how they kept intercutting, you know, every so often we'd go back to the reading and, you know, be told, yeah, for sure, Cloak and Dagger are going to come together. That's the only way to, you know, stave off the incoming catastrophe. One of them will live. What about the other one? You know, really, yeah, good job of raising stakes and making it, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I really like Mina. I hope that they're not gonna, like, I mean, this show gets dark sometimes, so I'm mentally preparing that they're gonna, like, off her or something, but just, she's just so nice, you know, just, yeah. You know, when we first meet her, it seems like, oh, it's not gonna work, you know, Tandy's gonna have to find some other way, but no, she, you know, that is a great, like, oh, but Mr. Carruthers said, you know, great, another, you know, yeah, and you know, that is the thing. Some bosses will just force an intern on you, and then something will go wrong. You'll have to tie them to a chair, and then go like, now can I go without an intern? There's a dated reference, but yeah, you know, once she decides to keep on Tandy, you know, she really just so nice, you know. Okay, you're gonna need this other kind of, you know, what was it, waiters, and yeah. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, I'll stay with Mina for a little bit instead of going back to chronological. Yeah, once Tandy arrives, you know, she almost immediately turns off the music. There's no like, come on, this is the best part of the music. I'll be there in a minute. No, just immediately, you know, it's like, and you know, Tandy comes in there, and Mina's like, Cookie, and Tandy's like, I mean, we barely know each other. I prefer you just call me Tandy. Oh, you mean, yeah, I'll take one. Is it me being paranoid? I mean, I feel like it would happen on this show. This show gets dark. When she took a bite, and there's that thing, oh, you know, there's this secret ingredient there, I kind of thought it was going to be something bad, but no, it's cardamom. You know, when she took a bite herself, it's like, okay, either there's nothing bad in there, or whatever it is, she's up for it herself. So, you know, that's at least mildly reassuring. Yeah, the whole B. Arthur thing was kind of cute. Not gonna lie, if B. Arthur popped up on this show, that would make my day. I mean, B. Arthur, who's that? Golden Girls? What's the... Never heard of that. And the... Let's see... Yeah, it's legitimately nice seeing Tandy with someone who, you know, somewhat knew... Well, let's see. Yeah, I guess she didn't know Nathan, but her father knew Nathan, so she's heard about Nathan. And, you know, hearing, like, you know, oh, Nathan never made a mistake, never made a miscalculation, you know, that sort of thing. And you see Tandy's face as, like, you know, yeah, she's... That's the first time someone who works for the company has said that it wasn't his fault. Like, Tandy knew, but even so, you know. Let's see. And then we have the... Yeah, and Stan, which again, like, yeah. A lot of people like that in corporate America. And, like, you know, it's 10 feet. No, it's 10 meters, you know. Please don't let this guy build a space shuttle. It went bad last time that kind of mistake was made. And the, you know, Tandy punctures the tire, which, like, because, yeah, Stan's like, well, I've never seen her before, but, she, you know, Mina is comfortable around her, so she must belong here, so he turns his back on. He's even got, like, vanity license plate. Stan Man. Wow. Just, yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate that gradually, you know, Mina does come to realize this has to be Tandy, you know, which, like, you're a terrible liar. Which, sometimes when it has to do with her dad, yeah, sometimes under those circumstances she can be a bad liar. But yeah, the thing about, you know, the truth never occurred to me. I've been lying for so long, and that is true. Like, beings are capable of adjusting to terrible things if we do them for long enough. You know, case in point, capitalism. And yeah, then we have the let's see. Yeah, and the bee does pop up, you know, and and Mina's like, "Hi, bee," and for a second I'm like, Ant-Man spinoff? And let's see, yeah, I liked Mina testing her, the thing of, like, well, I've never heard of that theory, and it's, you know, she wrote was a dissertation on it or something like that, you know, and yeah, of course Tandy read it. That's, you know, she does her research to know how to work marks, and, you know, it's a very human thing to want to talk about your work. You know, obviously Mina is proud of it, so that was a, yeah. Let's see. But yeah, those lies were really, like, oh yeah, there was this teacher who made science fun. It was like, you know, and Mina's like, so Nathan, I mean, that's Nathan, you're describing Nathan, you know. There was this teacher, his name was Nathaniel something, and yeah, I like the little, the meeting in the, you know, so, we're doing visits now. You're wearing rubber pants now. Judge less or leave more. And, yeah, they figure out, you know, and yeah, it works, or starts to work out for her to do the hope, but yeah. It's been so long since I've watched. I think she sees people's hopes, or is it dreams? Something like that. And you know, she points out maybe you could use some nightmare fuel, and yeah, that works pretty well with the guy with the red bag. Let's see. And yeah, it seems like the maybe Nathan. Yeah, wow. Maybe Ty is going to need to help reading Ivan's hidden. Yeah. Let's see, and then we have the. Right, yeah, we're told, oh, it's not oil. It's, what was it, 10 times more flammable. Oh, well, the plot thickens. And, let's see. Yeah, I really do like, Mina, like, based on, before this episode, all we saw, I think it was at the very end of episode 5, we briefly see, she's doing, like, a video talking about, I work for Roxxon. And then, we kind of thought, oh, she's another stooge. She's one of the people who, but no, she's actually really, really nice. That was a nice expectation subversion. She thinks she's doing the most good she can working for them. It's one of those things, like, it's not that she doesn't realize that there are certain things wrong. She knows it wasn't Nathan's fault, which means she knows that it's not, that Nathan has been, that they lied when they said it was Nathan's fault. And we know that she knows that it was Nathan's fault because she doesn't bat an eye when Tandy said, some people say it was Nathan's fault. And she's not like, what? No, what? No. No, she just immediately says, no, it wasn't. It's almost like, if you've heard a lie a lot of times, eventually you're just going to be like, that's not true. And just, kind of move on. You're not going to spend forever on it, Let's see. I think that might more or less... I liked Ty trying to work his, the whole thing with, first he tries to get a job and he's told, oh, you don't want to do this job. And, very, very nicely done. He must have teleported to get the bag and get back out of there so quick. So, yeah, very, very nicely done. Also good detail that he did end up, at first he tries just following the guy with the red bag. Doesn't go so well, and that is, again, very authentic, very realistic. People like that, they get good at, being able to tell when they're being followed. And, let's see, yeah, and Ty gets the bag, goes back, and says, I thought you'd want it back, and it's... And when, again, I'm sorry, I do not remember people's names. My wrists are too bad to check right now. But the guy who was there when his brother was killed, he's like, do you know what's inside? And crap, I forget exactly. I don't think Ty directly says, but like it's clear that, Ty knows, he's, because, like, again, that's the kind of thing where, like, if Ty didn't know that there was something illegal in there, and then the other guy says, do you know what's in here? He's gonna be like, oh, crap, am I an accessory? I didn't mean to do anything wrong, No, the fact that he, it's like poker. He's assessing his reaction. He's yeah, I guess he is kind of checking if Ty is bluffing. Because, like, this is the kind of thing where if Ty was insecure about participating in this illegal activity, he there would be some tell. He would have some kind of reaction and something in his face that would give away, or possibly body language or something. Yeah, let's see, and the corrupt cop manager. Guess I'm gonna have to be more specific. No, the main corrupt cop on this show is he manages to chase down the guy, beats him up, and says, "Tell him we have to meet." And I like the little moment when the female cop catches up, and she like sees the other guy hit this guy, and like she knows it's illegal. She knows this is against the rules. You're not supposed to use violence against, you can use force to restrain, but you're not supposed to beat up a suspect. No matter what they're doing, you can disarm them, but you can't beat them. But and just for like a second, you see in her face, trying to gauge what to, and yeah, she decides, I'm just gonna turn my head slightly, and that signals to the other cop, yeah, go on, I didn't see anything, kind of thing. Because if she calls him out on it, that might that might hinder her trying to take him down. So she's choosing the lesser of two evils. She's going along with something bad temporarily to do some good. Let's see. Yeah, and I will say I did not know how the confrontation in the warehouse was going to play out. And it is very clever, yeah, the moment that Ty overhears, there's a cop that's going to come through that door in a minute, he's not like, a cop? Huh, that sounds right. He like immediately he's like, oh no, it's her, so calls her, and yeah, I can imagine she's maybe thinking, it's not like I can tell him I'll be right there, I need to, yeah, I can't get bogged down here, I did wonder if he was gonna try to teleport out to her. Yeah, ultimately that wouldn't necessarily solve anything. If she's not picking up the phone, she might not listen to a warning if he teleported. I forget if she already knows he can. No, I don't think... yeah, he's trying to keep the powers secret. It's basically like... yeah, not very many people actually know. Let's see. Then we have the... but yeah, I was... I did think that the guy would shoot the female cop, but she manages to shoot him. And, Ty does some of the most badass teleporting, Are you telling me Ty can dodge bullets? And in his defense, he does have to. That might be about what there is for this episode. Yeah, looking forward to the next one. I'm hoping to make it next week. We'll see. I feel like there's at least one more thing. Maybe... let's see, what would it be? Because I've gone over the cop stuff. Tandy, Tyrone. Yeah, I feel like they did a good job of, like, we are getting closer. We now know that, supposedly only one of the two leads will survive the catastrophe that's coming up. Right, I like the stuff about, oh, we're survivors here in New Orleans. That is quite a good... And one of the characters said something like, oh, look at all these terrible things that have happened, and another one responds, and we're still here. I love that little bit of... because it is sometimes, not always, sometimes about perspective. Yeah, you can... again, sometimes, not always. But sometimes it's like you can think, oh, look at all this bad stuff that's happening. Or you can look at, look how resilient we are. Look at what we're dealing with it. It's important not to succumb to doomerism. I'm not saying that I'm always amazing at it myself, but it's a process. But we gotta make that effort, if at all possible. But yeah, we heard that only one of them's gonna survive. We heard about it's not oil, it's something else. And let's see. Yeah, I suppose that is about the... Right. And we also know for sure now, yeah, the corrupt cop there, he really is getting desperate. He really needs to, yeah, he has to do something. He's really struggling with the female cop, who again, I'm sorry, name escapes me at the moment. Yeah, he has to deal with her. Let's see, there we go, and what? Okay. Let's see, there we go, and the yeah, um, let's see. There's no IMDb trivia for this episode. Huh. Okay. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, that is it for this one. So the yeah, I think, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing, what exactly is behind the wall inside Ivan's mind. Really loving how willing some of these, Marvel shows, live action shows, are willing to go inside people's minds. I don't think there's been enough of that in the MCU movies. It's, yeah. I'm not saying every single comic book has it, but I mean, a lot of them do. It would especially be, from what I've gathered, it would be incredibly silly to do a Cloak and Dagger property adaptation and never go inside someone's mind. That's, yeah. But yeah, and this thing of like them using their powers together. Was there something? I feel like there was some like minor instance of that before this episode, but yeah, they're saying it's gonna be even more of a thing, and that's also, you got to keep it fresh. By this point, both of them have control over their powers. They no longer really struggle with them like we saw in earlier episodes. So either their power use is gonna get stale, or you gotta evolve it in some new way. And I really appreciate it. Looks like they're doing the latter.